Let's turn our attention to political matters now, as the African National Congress in Gauteng says a new Johannesburg mayor will be elected soon. Over the past few days, there was pressure from civil society to remove Mayor Kabelo Gwamanda. Joining us now is our Jama-ah leader, Ganief Hendricks. Mr. Hendricks, a pleasure to have you on the program this afternoon. Firstly, the ANC in Gauteng has announced that Johannesburg will have a new mayor by next week. From what you've learned and with your interactions with the ANC, what are the primary reasons behind this decision?
First of all, that will not happen. I had a meeting a joint meeting with the regional, the provincial secretary of the ANC and the members of the regional committee who put on the table that request. And I did not agree to it. And the Premier of the Western Cape has asked myself and the provincial secretary to engage and gave us the mandate to resolve the matter. Now, I agree with the ANC that the political party with the most seats should govern the City of Johannesburg, decide on the mayor, constitute the mayoral committee, and in principle, Jama-ah agrees with that. However, 1.5 years ago, the ANC was unable to present a candidate that had the support of all 9 members of the coalition of opposition of smaller parties. And there were two, when the first nominee of Jama-ah resigned, we were once again approached, please appoint a second mayor from your ranks. And as you know, we appointed Kabelo Gwamanda. And he has successfully run the City of Johannesburg for 1 year. And that has been acknowledged by the provincial secretary who issued that statement that there will be a new mayor next week. Maybe we will decide on the new mayor next week, but the timing will be up to the arrangement and agreement between myself and the provincial secretary who has a mandate. So as we stand at the moment, Jama-ah has been given a mandate by the presidency and the premier to lead in the City of Johannesburg. That mandate has not changed. So when that mandate changed and we're asked to step aside, we're quite willing to do so in a very friendly way and in a way that will strengthen our relations. So there won't be any problems. All Jama-ah is interested is in the stability and that this must be done. So with the approval of the 9 smaller parties, and then we're quite happy to do that because it's only right that the party with the most seats should constitute government. Jama-ah bailed out the ANC, it bailed out the 9 political parties, and we had to sacrifice a mayor and lose his expertise during the last elections because we needed him to campaign for us. He couldn't campaign for us. And that's why we didn't do as well as we did, because we should have had 1 or more seats in the provincial government. But because we sacrificed him, we made a further sacrifice. We sacrificed our ward councillor in Lenasia to have the numbers to pass the budget to pass the motion for the loan, because the EFF voted against the loan twice in succession, but they are on board now. They voted and the loan has been approved. But in the process, we had to sacrifice a ward councillor, and now we have to contest a by-election. So all that we did for the ANC. So like the provincial secretary said, we have a long historical good relations. They have a long historical good relations with Jama-ah over 15 years. City of Johannesburg is not going to upset that relationship because the ANC has asked our assistance in other parts of the country. We've always been there. We've asked for nothing in return. And we are the only political party that runs a mayoral committee without 1 member of Jama-ah in the 43 team that helps the mayor. So it largely constitutes of ANC members, 95% of them, and together with them and the best of breed of 9 political parties, We are turning the city of Johannesburg around. We had 2 clean audits, 3 power stations, 1 to be built in Eldorado Park. And then also we received an award from Salka as the best run
Mr.
municipality
Hendricks,
in Gauteng.
before we go further into these successes, of course, under Mayor Gwamanda, with all due respect, it would seem to me that these are contradictory statements. You start off by saying that Mayor Gwamanda is not going anywhere, at least this will not happen. But in contrast, you then also mentioned that the party with the majority within this coalition arrangement would then have better sway or more sway in deciding whether he goes and who replaces him, for instance. Maybe give us more clarity as to where matters stand right now. What is the formal response?
The media needs to understand the Jama-ah effect. That over the 15 years, we've done amazing things. And that is that a party with just 2 seats in the city of Joburg now, because we sacrificed 1 for the sake of the ANC. No other party will make that sacrifice. We are a trusted ally. So the mandate that I have at the moment is to run the city of Joburg. My mandate hasn't been changed. All that has been done is that I consult with the provincial secretary, and we are a good team, and we will decide what is in the best interest of the city of Joburg and not in the best interest of ANC or Jama-ah. And if it means that in time to come, we return to the principle that the party with the most seats should constitute the municipality, we'll only be happy to uphold that principle. But the ANC needed us in the time of crisis, in the times of need. The 9 opposition parties, including the EFF, needed us in a time of need and crisis. We came, we served, we did well. The provincial secretary in his media response indicated that we did a good job in the 1 year. That is not about Gwamanda. It's about maintaining a very solid relationship with Jama-ah. So it's all about a trusted ally and about Jama-ah. And media must just be patient. Myself and the provincial secretary of the ANC, we now have the mandate, and we will decide what is in the best interest. And if it is the time is ready for the ANC to nominate a candidate on condition that they are acceptable to all the 9 opposition parties, Jama-ah will uphold that principle. It's only right to do so. It cannot be that a party just with 3 seats in a chamber of nearly 300 should govern. But we came out to assist the city of Joburg. We've turned things around. Like I indicated earlier, it is the best run municipality in Gauteng. But obviously, you find that other forces, led by the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation, is spinning another story because of their self-centered attitude and having captured the foundation. And Ahmed Kathrada must be rolling in his grave.
So, Mr. Hendricks, when we continue to assess Mayor Kabelo Gwamanda's performance during his tenure, a lot's been said.
But I just told you now.
Hold on, Mr. Hendricks. Allow me to speak.
You don't listen.
Allow me to speak, or else we don't continue with this interview, because clearly we cannot have a conversation, you and I. So, going back to Mayor Kabelo Gwamanda's performance as mayor, it's been evaluated, of course, from your perspective, but there's been this growing pressure from, yes, organizations that you've mentioned, including the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation. But give us a sense of the specific issues or challenges that have led to this decision, or clearly on the part of the ANC, to replace him. It seems inevitable right now.
The ANC does not want change because of Gwamanda's performance. The ANC wants change because of the universal principle that the party with the most seats should run the city of Joburg. So the ANC has mentioned that it's not about Gwamanda, his performance, because he's done a good job. And to back that up, I've just told you and your listeners that in 1 year he got 2 clean audits. He commissioned 3 power stations. The 4th one is on its way in Eldorado Park, that he implemented 100 IDP projects, because that is as a result of public participation. Last week, he got an award from Salga as the best-run municipality in Gauteng. And surely, though that must say that must confirm that he's done a good job. So when the media listens to the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation and OTA, which is a right-wing organization sponsored by Zionism, that is their right to do so. They've got to weigh the arguments of OTA and Ahmed Kathrada Foundation and others against what Salga is saying, against what the Auditor General is saying, and what the City Council said when in December they gave thumbs up to the successful implementation of 30 IDP projects. And then also Gwamanda is busy assisting the Winnie Mandela to convert her house into a museum and trying to remove those who've captured the park next to it. We're assisting Thabo Mbeki with getting his Renaissance library going.
Yeah.
And we're also pushing the Palestinian cause by implementing the resolution of council that Santon Drive we call Leila Khalid Drive. So please don't ask me what proof there is that Gwamanda is doing a good job. I've just given you the proof.
It's very interesting because, again, it would seem that the writing is on the wall when it comes to Mayor Gwamanda's exit. And judging by the ANC's comments, being the party that controls the majority within this current arrangement, they fired the first shot. So it would seem that he is on his way out. But to take this conversation further, can you elaborate on the role of Jama-ah, especially in this coalition arrangement, and how your historical relationship with the ANC influences this forthcoming decision that we see happening out?
Look, at the moment, I have the mandate to lead. And the ANC doesn't go back on its word. It's given me the mandate. And even if a new mayor is appointed from the ranks of the ANC, we don't know who it is, because the first mayor was rejected by the 9 coalition parties. Maybe he has shown his mettle, and he's now acceptable. So Jama-ah will continue to lead the City of Joburg with the ANC, and obviously we may play different roles in the mayoral committee, and we may even be given bigger roles apart from being the executive mayor, because the executive mayor, he leads, and if it's an MEC position, it is implementation more than just leading, and we're quite happy to play that role.
Right. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Ganief Hendricks, joining us today and providing insight into the upcoming, expected changes in Johannesburg's leadership. But according to Mr. Hendricks, as things stand right now, nothing is going to change. Mayor Kabelo Gwamanda is not going anywhere as far as their mandate is concerned.